to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi. How y'all is tonight? You know, I hadn't even brought my iPad out here so I can keep up with notifications. Let me see if I can get it brought to us. Can you bring me the iPad? All right, I do think I have summoned the iPad so I can. It's bad. I bought an iPad just so I can read comments on live from Mississippi. I don't use it for much of nothing else. I have carried it to church a few times to read the Bible on, but I usually wind up using my phone for that too. So it is good to be back out here filming live from Mississippi. I enjoy doing these. I enjoy getting out here and cooking. And yes, we have done 100 of these. This is episode 100 lives. It's crazy, ain't it? Old redneck down here in south central Mississippi just cooking whatever. And y'all, we are fixing to cook beaver. We are finna cook beaver. So, off camera, I had a little bit of time earlier, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and prep everything. So I took my meat cleaver. This is one Uncle Sasquatch made and sent to me. And I've cut up all these vegetables. I've got bell peppers, and these are yellow bell peppers, onions, some celery. Did you bring parsley?
I figured it.
Well, I looked for it, so I done cut up celery because I couldn't find the parsley. I've got some chopped up. This is garlic that we grew. Y'all look at this garlic. It looks like an onion. Like it's not divided. I pulled this up about a month ago, I think. And I've got several of them. Now, some of them did divide off and are shaped like wedges. You know what I mean? But some of them are like totally round like an onion. So I don't know what kind of garlic this is. And the reason I don't is I was at we were selling pumpkins at a Highway 15 yard sale thing about 3 years ago. And a lady had some garlic in a bucket, and she was selling it, and I was like, I want to grow. I can't. She said, you need to grow from the nuts. She said, don't just plant the garlic, grow the. I said, where are you getting them? She said, hang on. And she gave me a grocery sack, like with a double handful of those little nuts. So I went and poked them all. Well, it does work good. Like they just keep coming back as long as you don't pull that nut back up out of the ground. It just keeps sprouting, sort of like nut grass, I guess. But anyway, I've got beaver cut up into pieces. And what I cut up was the two back legs off of a beaver. This beaver I soaked in water overnight, one whole night. And we're going to do sort of like a sauce piquant. Michelle's going to make some rice on the inside. But we're going to start we're going to put this meat. I've got a skillet over here getting good and hot. I need to turn it down just a little bit. I wanted it hot though so I can throw this meat in here. Let me get it seasoned and in there, and then we'll catch up on the chit chat and the talking here shortly. So I've got my own seasoning that I have made. This is what I call eat 'em raw. It is basically just some of the seasonings I like, and it's got a lot of cinnamon in it. I like cinnamon. My wife is not a huge fan, but being she's not going to eat no beaver, no way. Y'all know Michelle ain't going to eat no beaver with me. She just ain't going to do it. So anyway, my cutting board that Joey made and sent to me, so I can rake all this meat off on it. All right, we're going in the skillet with this. All right, and I've got a good bit of oil in there. May have too much, don't know. If I got too much, though, when I take the meat out, I'll drain it off. No big deal. We ain't going to be in no big hurry cooking tonight. That's why I did some of the prepping. We missed getting to do live last weekend due to unfortunate circumstances. But, y'all, everything's going well. Dad's home doing good. He's still hurting. Got a long way to go. I mean, he's not well by any stretch of the imagination, but he's home. He's walking around with a walker on his own power. bad sore, which is to be expected. So one thing I did want to say out here is thank all of you for praying. I know everybody has been totally understanding with everything going on. Um, so I really appreciate it. Good to have a lot of good people to pray. So we tickled at his home. My sister's down there with him tonight cooking supper. That she come up and she gets to be off on the weekends more. So we got everything ready to go. We missed doing a live last week. Missed a lot of stuff. Hadn't got to film a lot last week, so I have played catch up today and tried to do too much today. I've got several people's knives I'm working on. I got a friend of mine's beaver knives. I'm trying to finish getting handles on them. I had 3 knives that I had sold and took me on, and then another 2 that I had sold to. It was 2 individuals and 5 knives, and I'm like, I got their money and they ain't got their knives, so I'm bad behind. But I got the knives all put together. Got to get sheaths made and all that, so it's taking me way longer than it really ought to. But we getting them done. And today, instead of just working on knives, I was trying to really get all of my rest of my traps together so that I can hit my trapping hard while I'm working on these knives too. Because this month and next month, I was going to really, really trap hard, and then we're going to tan a bunch of fur and do a bunch of stuff with that. So I was putting new springs on 2 of my 330 conibears today. And it's tricky to do that. You got to have a vise and hold everything and squeeze them down. Well, new springs and old rusted traps has old rusted safeties. You know, the little hook that hooks over there? Well, that new spring, after I put it together and was turned around and clamped it in there, that safety did this number right here. And my fingers was up in that corner holding on to that trap while I was tightening that vise down, and it clamped them up in there. And I got it filmed. I don't know if I'm going to put it in a YouTube video. I'm making some awful faces. I didn't say a whole lot. It didn't break them, thankfully. I got a scratch right there. You can see where it managed to hide off right there in one spot. Y'all think I ought to make a reel out of me standing there trying to get that off of me, and I didn't cuss. It was like old Robin told me that day when we hit that stump going in there. We went fishing together. He said, I have quit cussing. So, you know, I didn't say nothing ugly, but it's kind of embarrassing. You know, I hated to film it because, I mean, and I didn't do nothing wrong. The safety let go. It wasn't like I did something stupid. I mean, I had my fingers, but I was expecting the safety to hold. So, oh well, it clamped them down, clamped it in there pretty good there for a few minutes. Oh well, you live and you learn, don't you? Let's go over here and stand here and stir in this. So, you know, if you're cooking something, you got to stand there and just stir at it. Beaver meat. Beaver meat. Turn that up just a touch. I turned it down when it was really a sizzling. I'll let y'all take a look. Yeah, them traps will show bite back. And you know, I have been very fortunate doing this for. I didn't trap hard and heavy for the last year. I trapped a good bit the year before. I trapped really hard 2 or 3 years prior to that. I don't know what happened last year. I had a lot going on. I never did trap really to amount to anything. I did put out a few beaver traps, did a little beaver trapping. But in all my years of trapping, I've never really got my fingers in a trap. Like I think one time I had one that literally closed, and I did stick my hand in a trap to experience it one time, and not a big one. I think it was like a 1.5 Duke or so. It was a small trap. I just, you know, curious, and but it wasn't too bad. I've seen some guys stick their hands in a 650. I have not done that. I ain't a glutton for punishment. But I have been fortunate. I did have a 330 snap one time, and liked to got me. But I'm pretty conscious of what I'm doing most of the time. Um, I think maybe once or twice I've had my fingers in a small trout, but never a big one. This is the first time at 3:30, and I mean it had my fingers curled up in there like they wouldn't coming out. They wouldn't have like pull your finger out. Wouldn't happen. It's a miracle it didn't break them. And for a few minutes I thought maybe it had broken. Oh Lord, Lord. That is a cooking. I'm getting in a hurry. I keep wanting to turn that up, but I don't need to. So let me pull up some chats over here so I can talk at y'all, see what y'all telling me. I need to do a better job of keeping up with this, y'all. We got 143 folks. Magnolia Mama, good to see you. Hadn't seen you in a moment or two. Who all else is in here? I mean all kind of folks. Good to see all of y'all, all of you tonight. So, so. I don't know what made me want to cook this way. I just decided I have fried beaver, I have smoked beaver. Smoked beaver and then turning it into like pulled pork make burgers is really good. Probably one of the top ways of doing this. But I cut this up in little pieces. I said let's do something different, you know. Uh, so a sauce piquant. I really don't know what I call this. Some of y'all may be more familiar with the name than I am. What my plan is we're gonna cook this meat. We're gonna take the meat out and we're gonna lay it on the cutting board or on a plate or something. We're gonna put the vegetables in there. Then we're gonna make a roux and we're gonna dip that roux over in. Well, I'm gonna add. I should probably. I didn't know whether I wanted beef or chicken, so I just told Michelle to get one, and she come back with chicken. So I don't, being I've never cooked this, I don't know which one would be better with beaver. Obviously, I've cooked similar stuff, but not with beaver. So I don't know if beef would have been better with beaver or if the chicken would be better. But we're gonna roll with chicken because that's what we got. But I'm gonna add this broth and to the vegetables after I cook it, and then we're gonna dip the roux down into it, shake it off the spoon into there. Uh, Probably gonna put some hot sauce, but then we're gonna serve that over rice. So we're gonna just see how this works out. I think a sauce piquant has tomato in it. I think. So I don't know. What would y'all call this? I'm not a good with names. I can cook what I got in my mind cooking, but I don't know what to call it. That meat is getting done. Getting done. I just want to make sure I cut it up in fairly small pieces because I didn't want it big chunks. Anytime you cooking meat and you cutting up to make a stew or anything, if your pieces of vegetable or meat or anything is bigger than what'll go on a fork or in a spoon, is too much. I mean, wouldn't y'all agree? Cut this up pretty small, that way it will cook faster, get done, through faster. So I'm fixing to have to go get me a saucer or a platter to put the meat in. I was going to put it on my cutting board, but I'm using my cutting board. So do let me run and go get a plate. I'll be right back. Y'all don't go nowhere. I might fill my coffee cup while I'm in there too. Ayla Wine Pottery, no, I didn't make this. right, I'm back. I promised y'all I'd come back. I mean, I promised you. All right. Always, when you get one of them down, always burn it off on the. See that? That way there ain't no spider webs and nothing on it. I got a brush somewhere out here. I can't put my fingers on it though right at the moment. Where did it go? I had it right here. I spend half my life hunting my stuff. Y'all do too, don't you? Oh, lay it right there. Now we're gonna dip this meat out of here. Ah, so y'all, there's what the meat looks like. You know that's good. Might as well. That is good. No joking. All right. Now, in with the vegetables. Go in a little at a time. Bell peppers, onions, and celery. And garlic over here. I'm going to put the garlic in last. Oh, yeah. All right. You got to stir that now. I'm going to let that cook a minute before I add the garlic, I think. I think so. So now we got to make a roux. And I am seriously thinking about making my roux in this fish fryer. Just because it is shallow and flat, I think so. I think that is what I want to do. Yeah. Probably not the ideal thing to cook it in, but hey, I got it. Joey sent it to me. All rightly. We need a little dab of oil. I'm just going to use this cooking oil I've got right here. I know you should use butter and all such as that, but we're going to use what we got sitting here handy. And then I got some white lily flour. That's what I'm going to use, white lily. Why? Because that's what was in the refrigerator. I have used all different. I really don't think one flour is better than another. I think they all will kill you. Somebody told me that's what was making us so sick. I need this right here. I do think I need to add some seasoning to the vegetables. So we're going to go back in with some more of this. Pretty heavy. And that ain't very spicy, so what I've got over here in this jar If y'all been following me for a while, you remember I dehydrated a bunch of jalapeno peppers, ground them up. They was, yeah, they gonna be spicy. Don't take a lot. These ain't really that hot. They warm now. They stay hot. I didn't say they wasn't hot. I said they ain't that hot. I may need to sample another piece of that beaver meat. That's fit to eat just like it is. There ain't no joke about that. That dog, let me show y'all something. Y'all forgive the junk. He's got him a beaver leg. Where I cut all the meat off of it, I chunked it out in the yard. He's drug it up right there. Puppy. Biscuit. 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 Pup pup. He ain't paying me a bit of attention, is he? He's working it over pretty good. Pup pup. You like beaver legs? I think he does. I think it's safe to assume he likes beaver legs. We fixing to add this garlic in there. Stir this in good. Alright, we fixing to start adding some flour here. And y'all, I seriously considered attempting to make that roux on the Blackstone. Y'all ever watch Bruce Mitchell make one on the Blackstone? The only reason I didn't do it is I've never done it before, and I didn't want to learn on live camera. It'd be like my gravy, you know. I have made a roux before. This ain't my first roux. And I don't know, I'm sure this ain't the ideal, but this thing ain't totally level, so I can let that work that down to however I want it. And I can add, I don't never go by measuring. I always have to add some more of this, some more of that, you know, to get it like I want it. But I don't want no whole bunch of roux. But I may not have enough. We'll see how it turns out. I probably need to add some more though. I don't think I'm gonna have enough with what I got, so we need a little more quantity. I'm happy with my consistency. Just weren't gonna be enough. I'm sure we'll have to add some more. Y'all, it's hard cooking live on camera. You can't read the comments and talk to everybody. Y'all just tell me what I'm doing wrong. I can't see it. I'd rather you tell me when I wasn't looking. Oh, I'm just joking. It tickles me when I get all these comments and they say, oh, don't worry about what the commenters say. It don't worry me. I enjoy it. I can take it. I wouldn't be doing this if I couldn't. I think this pan right here is the ideal thing to make a roux in. Joe at Butterfly Farms, him and his wife sent this up here to us. I got to stir over here a little bit. I don't want to. Don't want to burn that. I think I'm gonna turn this down a little bit for right now. We're about to get that cooked like we want it. I mean, that's looking good off over in now. Can y'all see what color that's turning? It's still a really blonde. I think I'm gonna shoot for a chocolate roux this time. Normally, I am a fan of what they call a blonde roux. I don't think I'm gonna need this flour. I'm gonna put it up. Now this hot sauce I got is my homemade hot sauce. It is made from cayenne, little habanero, jalapeno mostly. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little of that in there. We'll probably be adding some more. And I'm gonna get my homemade spoon out. Y'all see that where I put my logo in there? It didn't really do real good. I was trying to brand it in there. I had the intentions that I was gonna get into making some more spoons and spatulas and stuff, but I got too many irons in the fire like it is. I can't be taking on no more hobbies now. Ooh, that smells good. I'm on, trying to let that brown a little on the bottom before it starts a burning on me. It ain't stuck yet, so that's a plus. I think I'm gonna turn that one down a little bit. I got y'all where you couldn't see, didn't I? It's darkening up. We about to a peanut butter color. I know these lights out here are tricky, and sometimes you can't really tell what's going on. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. And if y'all got a bunch of questions and all that kind of stuff you're asking right now, I will sit down in a little bit and get to all of that. You'll have to ask again. Right now, I'm a little preoccupied. You'll have to forgive me. I'm stirring with 2 spoons and 2 pots. I mean, I'm about busy. But I get a lot of practice at such as this. We don't want nothing stuck. I tell you what I'm fixing to do, though. We fixing to go ahead and add this chicken stock in here. And I'm assuming I'm going to go ahead and add all of it. Might as well. Like old Kenny Mason said, look at that color. Ooh, y'all look at this. Just look. I mean, look at that. That's pretty. I might say, hey, if I didn't know no better, I think I cooked that. Be like Justin Wilson. You stand around over here stirring in one of them pots, and then a little bit you set it to the side and grab a nut and pull the lid off and go, all right, we're going to eat this. I'm like, why don't you eat the one you cooked? Who cooked that oven over there? Oh, I'm sure he cooked it off camera, but I don't know that. We about to get that chocolate covered. Oh, yeah. I'm about ready to drop that meat back off in there too, I think. Y'all look at that roux. That is a pretty roux. I ain't got it like I want it yet. Y'all look. I had to go check your comments. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this looking right. And then we'll taste. I'm one of them. I'm one of them tasties you cook and go, well, I need a little more of this and a little more of that. I noticed them folks on them cooking shows, they have to have a certain amount, to put in there and they done. I'm like, no, hand. No, it ain't the way we do it in Mississippi. We'll taste of it while we cooking. And everybody's okay with it. We've been at church function, a fellow over there cooking, and he'll, oh, we need a little more. So, yeah, man, you better check it. Don't spring nothing on me you ain't sampled. Look at that color. I think I am about done with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the fire off on that burner because that cast iron is going to hold that heat some. Y'all already know this. Mike Culpepper will tell you, him and Tony Parker, they cast iron experts on him. They know that cast iron will hold that heat, son. You can cut the fire off and cook for another 10, 15 minutes. But I think I got that. It's not as thick as sometimes a lot of people like it. Me personally, in what I am making, I'm okay with it. Turn this up just a little bit. There's a lot of seasoning in there. But we fixing to add this. I figured that would thicken up some. But I got the color I want. I think. I don't know. I might want it a little bit darker than that. It'd be good if it was a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker would be ideal. Mike should have left it cooking, reckon. Tell you what. Let's do that. Let's cook it a little bit more. We ain't in no hurry. I didn't think a lighter was gonna work. There comes Marie Laveau. Come look at this roux I done whooped up over here, woman. He's gnawing on it. He ain't eating it. She's talking about Pup over there chewing on that beaver leg.
We brought it in the house.
Look at this. Look at the color in all of this. Look how pretty that is.
Ooh.
You gonna try it?
No. I don't know.
You don't know?
I ate a pork chop.
She went down there to my mama's. She had them cook her a pork chop. Let me back up. It drives me nuts when I can't look at y'all. I mean, I got to see. Oh, turn it down and start to boil. We don't want that cooking too fast. I think I'm ready to put my meat back off in there. Yep, we fixing to add the meat back to this. I don't think I'm gonna. Doggone, that's pretty good, y'all. Anybody want to eat that? Come in and taste a piece of this meat and give me an honest opinion, woman. You ain't gonna even taste of it?
I don't think so. I'll take your word for it.
Y'all, she don't know what she's missing. Oh. All this got to do is be half good as it looks, and we'll be all right. I really wish this would have thickened up just a little, but it's going to be all right. I'm fixing to dump it in there is what's fixing to happen. Because it ain't quite thick enough to put on the spoon, I don't believe. Yeah, my spoon don't work good for that. Yeah. Turn that off. That start to burn. I seen it. When I seen smoke coming out of it, it's time to do something. Let me get me a glove. Where's my other glove? I had two out here.
I don't know.
Oh Lord, somebody done made off of my earthen glove. Oh y'all, I've done kicked y'all.
You might have to use a
Yeah, may have
That-
to.
towel under there.
I ain't got no towel.
You want me to go get you a thing? I just don't want you to ruin my things in the house.
I reckon I got another something right here. All right, look. All right, that's good enough. Come in and tell me what y'all think. What thinkest thou, y'all? I think I'm gonna let this sit here and slowly cook here for a few minutes. All right. Bonnie, I am cooking a roux. Beaver and a roux, yes. Something like beaver sauce pecan or something. We're just not adding the tomatoes. Not that I'm against the tomatoes by any means now, because I've done it with, I just opted not to tonight. So no reason not to doing it. We got rice. Michelle is cooking rice on the inside, so we're going to serve this over rice is how I'm eating it. And we do have some leftover cornbread. Y'all, she made a big old thick pan of cornbread last night. And the cornbread was so good when I got through, I got me a glass of milk and I put that cornbread down in there. Well, I got me a glass, put the cornbread in there and poured milk over. Brody looked at it like he didn't had never seen that before.
Is that ready?
Martin, I agree. I think that it's, I got plenty to eat since nobody else likes it. Make it good. I am going to sample it here shortly, and I'm going to have to get me a spoon to sample it with, and because I may need to add some spice or whatever else to it. I don't know. The Instant Pot. We got Instant Pot. Michelle's got an air fryer that she likes to cook bacon in it more than anything.
I cooked that deer roast in the Instant Pot. Like
Deer roast in the Instant Pot. Be like, what's that comedian David? What's his Derek? It talks about the crock pots. He said that during COVID he discovered crock pots. He said this is for people like me. He said something you can forget about and nail. Well, that's kind of my deal. I get sidetracked doing something else, and I'm like, oh man, I was cooking. I get it. Every time I'm talking about buttermilk, cornbread and milk, everybody start buttermilk. I don't like buttermilk. So when I do it, I don't make it with buttermilk. I use the red label whole milk. That's what I like to drink. And I get people, oh, you ain't country if you don't use buttermilk. I might not be then, because I just don't like buttermilk. I'm going to wipe me off a place to lay that iPad, because I got coffee over here getting cold. Now I need some water. I got to clean this right here up, and I need warm water.
Is that a hint for me to go get some?
No, I thought I had a bottle out here somewhere with water in it. There ain't much in it though, so yeah, that might be a hint. At one time I need to keep some in that coffee pot,
He's
but
10, ain't he?
yeah, he's got that beaver. He is. Let me turn y'all around. Let me just turn y'all around. Look, he's still right there, working that bone over. Pup, you like that beaver leg? Samuel, that's kind of the way when I get with the buttermilk. I ain't no fan. I make biscuits with it by all means, but I'm not going to just drink plain, but I'm not going to. I mean, if you like it, by all means, knock yourself out. I'm not against you doing it. Just don't tell me I got to. I mean, y'all know I'm of the persuasion the best way to do it's the way you want to do it. If you want to pour buttermilk over your cornbread, well, bless your heart, you just fill it right up to brimming full. I ain't going to do it. Now, I do want buttermilk on my biscuits, Fitz, how you picking them guitars? I've not gotten to watch, which last week I watched a little stuff in the hospital, but with all that going on, you don't, other people sitting around, you don't turn volume way up on stuff, or at least I don't. It's one of them complex, But I seen you building that guitar, good looking guitar. All right, I need to. That's pretty thick, y'all. I'm gonna turn it down a little more. I don't want to burn it up. So while I'm heating this up, I don't need a lot, but I'm gonna try to clean that before it all sticks to everything in there. Now we're making gravy, ain't we? I got it all over the pan, I can tell you that. I figured this is gonna be different. Now why did I do that? Ah, get one of my old grease rags over here. I'm slopping that all over everywhere, ain't I? That rag's got to go into the... He's got to go through, really into the garbage. It's about time for a new one. But I got this somewhat cleaned up where I can deal with it. I don't like to carry it in the house just crudded with stuff big as that is. It won't fit down in the sink to soak, you know what I mean? Alright, I think I'm on, I need to, something to sample with. I got a sampling spoon in here. Maybe so. I'll be doggone. Good Lord, y'all. Where's the rice? Hey, I done knocked it out of the park again. That was a Babe Ruth meal right there. Huh?
Are you ready for the rice?
Whenever you get it done, I is. Huh? In a bowl, big one of them white bowls. I ain't kidding y'all. That's doggone good. I ain't got to add no seasoning or nothing to that. Let me put the lid on it for a minute here. Let it do its thing. I wished I could spoon feed y'all all a bite of that. At least the roux and all that I made is about as good as it gets now. I mean, I've eat as good, but I can't say I've eat better. I'm gonna have to get this same nasty rag. We're gonna throw this one away after this episode. I use it when I get that griddle about clean to really rub down it. All right. I think I got that clean enough to carry in the house, ain't I?
There's you. Rice.
All right. Let me get over here. Y'all come on. We finna sit down and talk and eat and all this kind of stuff. Mm-mm. Turn that really, really low. All right, Roscoe, watch out. Oh, yeah, for a bowl. That's gonna run out of the side of that plate. It'll be all right though. We might be wearing it, so let me get me something to drink. Roscoe said he believed he could eat a bite of that. Yeah, now get back. Let me eat mine first.
He wants some.
Yeah, I know he thinks he does. All right, sit. Lord, we're so thankful for this food. We pray that you bless it to the nourishment of our bodies to give us strength and good health. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You need to get the iPad over here. I can't talk to everybody. You're gonna have to read comments to me or something.
I've been shoe shopping.
I knew you wasn't keeping up with what we was doing. Y'all, that's good. I ain't gonna lie. Michelle, that's as good as that etouffee down there at Harbor View. I am not kidding.
I don't know.
I ain't talking about the meat.
I think you just put it on. I don't want to bite.
There ain't no meat in that. I'm telling you, there ain't no meat in that. Now tell me that ain't good.
It's good. It's real good. It's got good flavor.
And the beaver's good too. You just ain't gonna taste it. I ain't even gonna make you.
I tried it.
Y'all look at him. Just look. Just look, would you? What we missing? I know
Let's
I can't.
see. Bobby told me to try the beaver. Everybody's saying it looks good. You're welcome, Miss Nancy.
That's good enough to take to the church potluck.
And not tell everybody what's
tell
in
them
it.
Tell them it's deer. They don't let me bring stuff to the church potluck just because of this. I quit volunteering to cook a stew at Halloween at the Halloween cookings because everybody asks you every time I cook one of them, what all did you put in it? I'd just say possum, raccoon, the turtle. I ain't gonna eat no possum though, y'all.
Bobby Smith says deer season for guns starts this coming weekend for them.
Our primitive weapons coming up pretty quick. I've got to get my muzzle loader out. I have not shot any of them. And I moved the table and got everything set up to shoot last week, and then I hadn't got to. I've got to make that. I may do it tomorrow. I don't know.
He said, does it taste, Samuel said, does it taste like beef or something else?
I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the time, if I cook beaver, I can tell you that that's beaver. It has a distinct flavor. This, on the other hand, does not have that beaver flavor. Now, I put a good bit of seasoning in it. I also soaked this beaver in water overnight. You know how when you soak deer meat, it'll turn a lot whiter than if you just dry age it, you know, put it in the refrigerator in a dry bowl or whatever. So I did do that, and it probably helped soak some of the flavor out. I'm going to be honest with you, you can't tell this is beaver. You really can't. This is as good as I have made beaver.
Bonnie, I used to go hunting. Up until I had Brody. I did hunt.
You going to go hunt this year?
Yeah.
I hadn't killed a deer yet, y'all. So somebody's gonna have to kill one for us. We're running out of deer meat.
Barry Alexander said, "Did you get the pillow ready?"
We gotta come up with a new pillow.
Pillow for what?
I done thought about the pillow. Oh, I had a bunch of people telling me the reason I couldn't hit nothing down there when I was shooting last time I shot the muzzleloader because I was using a pillow. We will most definitely have a pillow. If I have to take one off the bed, Michelle sleeps on.
We got about 10 of them on there.
Roscoe's got one under his table down yonder that he uses. I may steal it.
He didn't like that. Did you?
I'm gonna need another plate of this.
Modern Outdoors says rifle season started there in Virginia. His dad missed one.
Our youth season is in now. I could take Brody and go shoot one because I done seen some pictures of some. They said, "Oh my, he got his first deer. He's in his diaper, you know." I'm like, no, he didn't. His daddy might have got one for him. So I guess that's legal here. Because they put it on the Facebook for the whole world to see.
Who did?
I've just seen several. You know, when you're stuck in a hospital room, you ain't got nothing to do but scroll through stuff. Y'all, I sent an email to Secret Creek. Y'all ever heard of Secret Creek? I think they are what is known as Colorado Yurt Company. They make teepees. So I sent them an email, sent them my phone number and my Facebook page and a link to my YouTube channel. And just told them the story of my teepee and what happened to it, and that if they was interested in a collaboration and helping me get another teepee, because I didn't. Well, on the way home with my dad the other day, I got a phone call, and it was them. Me and the lady talked for quite a while. She was scrolling through my Facebook page, looking at everything, and liked what she saw. Said she was going to talk to the owner Monday. She said, we have our meetings on Monday. She said, I will go to him, and she said, I'll bring this up. She said, sometimes they work with influencers and stuff. She said, and I'll see. Told me that she would get back up with me about Wednesday or something. So we may get a teepee to put a real one to put up. If nothing else, we may get a discount on one. I told her I just needed the skin. I had my own poles and all that. And actually, she was impressed with the one that I built, considering I'd never built one before. She said, how'd you manage to pull this off? I said, well, I had a couple of books. I said, and I just looked at them and just went at it.
Larry Alexander said, what happened to TP? And then the Great Outdoors said, tell you what, I generally want a bite, but tonight I'll be happy with Whataburger.
Hey, if anybody was going to try beaver for the first time, if you like Cajun cooking and a little bit spicier food, this would be the way to try it.
Give Roscoe a bite.
He ain't eating off my fork. I love him, but I ain't sharing a fork with him.
You just throw him a piece.
Ain't happening.
So just
It's too good.
Bless it. Ooh.
He spit it out. No, I'm kidding. It went out so fast, he thought the puppy got it. So yeah, maybe we'll have another teepee put up. I wanted to film some stuff in the teepee, and by the time it got cool enough to do it,
They want to know if you watched the Bama game.
No. I was going to, but it was not on YouTube. They had it where you couldn't watch it, so I was busy with traps. I have prepped traps today. Filmed dyeing all of my traps that I have here. Now, obviously, I got a bunch of them that's in the water. Who won the Bama game? Think they were playing Oklahoma?
I wonder if they wondering what keeps running behind the camera.
Huh?
Charlie keeps running back and forth.
The cat?
Yeah. Like a streak of lightning. Uncle Sasquatch said it was fancy chicken time.
We got 250 people watching.
Yeah, Fitz said they was going
Holy
on
day. Good night, y'all. Pick a tune on that old guitar for me before you go to bed now.
Everybody saying Oklahoma won.
Did they?
Yep.
You know, used to, there was a time of my life when that would upset me, but it don't. It really don't bother me at all anymore.
Puppy's going to have a bath tonight. I've got to where at night when Puppy goes to sleep, he don't let you hold him. He's not a lovable puppy.
That's because of that boy we got in there.
But at night when he goes to sleep on his bed, once he goes to sleep, I can pick him up and do whatever I want to with him. So at night I've been picking him up and I get in the rocking chair and I rock him and cuddle him in a blanket. And I'll sit there and rock him for about 30 minutes.
Hey.
He might have to have a bath tonight after eating that beaver.
Is there some more rice in there?
You want another plate?
I think I'm going to have another bite of that. That's too good. I'll go get it. You talk to them. I can, as long as somebody's here to talk to them and they ain't sitting here looking at an empty stump.
John Thomas said, good evening, everybody. Just getting on tonight. Here, I'll go fix it. You talk to everybody. You catch up on the comments.
All right. You know what? Well, it's all right. It's all right. Thank you. She's a good woman, y'all. Let me get this up a little bit closer. Like that song, a little closer walk with thee, Lord. 23-21, Oklahoma won. Well, congratulations, Oklahoma. I wish I could sit here and expound on it and go why and make excuses and all that, but I have no idea who's good and who ain't good. So I'll watch it, but it don't. If I need to be boiling traps and dynamite, I'd rather be doing that. Who did Texas A&M play? Petey Fresh Hour. How you doing tonight? Dad is doing pretty good. Obviously, he's in pain. He's not well, but he's at home. They went to town and got ice cream, but he got out and walked around the yard. We got him a walker, and he's got out and walked around, but it gives him out. He's not getting a lot of wind. He's still struggling to breathe. He's having to... And we probably gonna wind up getting him a CPAP machine, I figure. He used one night down at the hospital. And when we got up on the floor up there, we had good doctors, good nurses, everything. Until we got up on the floor, we was on the 6th floor. And they didn't do nothing bad, but they didn't mess with you much. Now, they would come in ever religiously and check his blood sugar and poke him and check his temperature and all that stuff. But when it got time, like if you needed them for something, you'd go out there and look at that nurse station. They wouldn't nobody know where around. So when it got time to hook the CPAP machine up, when he decided he wanted to try it, I just went over there and went to punching buttons till I got it running. And we got finally figured it out, and he slept under it and slept under it for several hours. But then it got to that mask got to irritating him. He woke up, but now the coughing. Once he's laid there and slept for a while and breathed deep and all, it starts loosening that stuff in his chest or it settles or whatever, and he gets to coughing about 5 o'clock in the morning, and that hurts him a good bit. Then he about has to have a pain pill.
Well, if your sister and brother-in-law was watching that, they might want to come up here and get on some beaver.
They done had one of them pork chops. I'm gonna tell you, this is fine. They ain't no joking. You know, everybody will cook something and go, "Oh, you gotta have it the way I tried it." I have cooked beaver a lot of times that I could eat it, but I could also sit here and tell you, well, it wasn't the greatest thing I ever. This is delicious. It's a lot to do with the sauce and all the other stuff that goes with it. But Lord, that's the same way with chicken or pork. That is good though.
You look at the comment.
I ain't.
Hey, Mr. Mike.
Mike Culpepper. Butterfly Farms. I was wondering, that pan you sent me is what I cooked this roux in a while ago. You'll have to go back and watch me using it. And I do have your knife drawed out. I have not got to cutting it out yet. I'm going to duplicate it and make one the same size, but I am working. I'm slightly delayed in my progress. But I did want to let you know I had it. I was working on it, or had at least had it in the list. Mark, now you would be right now, especially to eat it raw. Who decided? We're not even gonna cook this. We just gonna swallow it. And I like raw oysters now. Don't get me wrong. But that wouldn't be something that I'd be like, well, I'm gonna somebody eat it raw out of necessity. They were stranded on a beach somewhere, and that was all they could find. But here's the next thing. Who decided, let's take this rock we found right here and let's see if we can open it up? Because it ain't easy to open. So how'd they open that first one up? Somebody picked it up and throwed it over there against something else. I don't know. Jason, I don't know if we've got witch hazel or not. I'll say this. I have not positively identified it somewhere. He's chasing a granddaddy long legs.
Don't eat that. Is that what it is? Or
Yeah.
beetle?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's hopping, whatever it is.
Mike Culpepper said his wife said she'd try this beaver, but she's afraid she'd get a splinter. That's a good one right there now, I gotta admit. That sounds like something I'd come up with right there. I done sit here and eat 2 plates full of it. If that tells y'all anything. Pup likes it, because he's eating a raw leg over there, and I'm talking about he's done worked all the way around over him with that leg.
I don't know what Brody's fighting in there, but he's fighting something.
Ricky Johnson, how are you? Cajun Holiday, I agree. I like oysters myself. I'm a little leery of eating them raw now. I love them raw, but we heard about a guy he passed away, and they say it was from eating them. It got in his bloodstream. Something did. I don't. I don't personally know the details of it. That's just about as much as I know. So after hearing that, you're like, you know, because I'll try anything a time or two, but when you find out it's cost somebody their life, you kind of hesitate. And I can't 100% say that that is what the cause was, but that is at least what I heard. John, who had a birthday supper? Mama Trisha's birthday. I figured y'all was out pig hunting. I was going to join y'all. I was going to get up with you and tell you I wanted to go shoot pigs one night. I had a company reached out to me, wanted to send me a thermal scope. I said, well, you know what? That'd be nice. Before I said anything, I went and talked to my dad. I said, if you got an AR that we can put a thermal scope on, yeah, I got. Well, I wasn't wanting to try one of them. So I emailed them back and I said, sure, we'll do a video with it. Just send them my address, the information they wanted. They emailed me back and they had a list of their stipulations. And one of them is when you get through with the video, if you want to keep it for an extended period of time to film another video, you need to fill out this thing to get approval to keep it for a certain length. I was like, oh, no, we're not sending it back. So I wrote them back a letter, and I said, no. I said, if you want me to send it back, you're going to send me some money then. And I run the numbers on up there. I told them they was going to have to send me $1,000. I told them I didn't work for free. So they emailed me back and said, well, it's unfortunate we're not going to be able to collaborate at this time. I said to myself, yeah, I figured that, but I ain't fixing to advertise your junk for free. Y'all don't work for free, do you? 9-pointer today on their youth hunt, Bobby Smith said, weighed 160 pounds. Oh, Dave, this one, you had the thermal, the night vision. It had 2 different scopes on it, battery operated, daytime optics on it. It would record everything. It was by DNT, I think. When I pulled it up on the internet, it was like about a $1,400 rig up. So it wasn't a well-known name, which don't mean it wasn't a good product. I mean, but I still wasn't going to film for free. I got plenty of stuff to film without doing it for nothing. I'm about full, y'all. I've had 2 plates. Had 2 plates. Can I get y'all to lift up 26-year-old Addison Lambert in prayer or add her to the church prayer list? She needs a miracle. She has brain cancer and she has an 8-month-old baby. Her name is Addison Lambert. Y'all put her on your prayer list, please. John, they was going to send me one, and I was going to take it and do a video on it, but, when they went about it a little differently, it wasn't that, hey, I wanted $1,000 to do the video. It just, you're going to send somebody a product and get them to advertise, and then you're not going to offer them anything. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. If they had offered me, hey, we're going to give you $100 to do this video, I probably would have took them up on that. But I wasn't going to do it for nothing. They don't realize there's a lot of work goes into filming something like that. especially to make a successful thermal hunt, I've got to get up with somebody like you or somewhere that they's legitimately pigs, or I could have possibly went and sat and shot beavers one night at one of these properties, but with that, I would have had to put it on a smaller caliber rifle because I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and reread the laws. I know you can shoot pigs and stuff like that with a high-powered rifle, but when you start shooting nuisance animals, like, I don't know if they allow. I want to think you got to have a 22 Magnum or less, which includes a 17 HMR, to hunt at night. But I'd have to reread everything because I know people are shooting pigs with high-powered rifles, so I don't know where beavers would fall into that. But, you know, there's a lot of work, though, either way into setting up all this stuff. And you advertising somebody's product and they don't offer you anything, that just, I don't know, didn't sit well with me.
Roscoe's wanting you to put that plate down.
Well, I wanted to be sure I didn't want to fill it up again, but I'd be fat if I. What did I do? There it is. I lost my chat. Here, Roscoe. I'm gonna put it over here. Get me another Gatorade. There. You can wash your plate, Roscoe.
My eyes bothering me tonight.
Daddy's got some eye drops they give him at the hospital.
I don't know what's in them.
That nurse, she never could tell me if they was pain or something. We had a nurse. We had a nurse come in the first night we was on the floor when we got up there in Daddy's room. Daddy asked one of them nurses what something was, and she looked at him. She said, I don't have any idea. Daddy just looked at her, and she started out the door. Now, my daddy talks loud because he can't hear good. He don't know how loud he's talking. He said, "Hon, did you hear that?" She said she didn't have no idea. He said, "Ain't that something?" I was over there dying laughing because I could still see her right out in the hall out there, and I know good and well she heard him. Luckily, it was about time for them to have a shift change. We didn't see her no more that night. But she did. She said, "I don't have any idea." Where's Puppy at?
He's in the house.
Brody's fixing to get him.
He saw you set this plate down here.
Yeah. Whew, them blue ones is a little rich. Brody likes them.
He went right back to his food.
Matt, that CZ is an American, and I love it. I have not had the chance to do much squirrel hunting. Every time I think I'm going to get stuff lined out, we usually end up with something else going on. It has been that way for 3 years. And it's not any one thing in particular. It's just every time I get, okay, I'm going to have some time, I don't do nothing. We've got events going on or something happens or I don't know. It's just always something going on. I have not gotten to hunt. I had full intentions. One thing, though, that sucked the wind out of me with the squirrel hunting is we haven't had a lot of squirrels, but now I've been talking to some people, seeing a lot of squirrels in certain areas, so I may get up with some of my buddies and take Roscoe and go squirrel hunting here in the next couple weeks because once I kill a deer, I ain't one of them people that I got a deer hunt every day. I love to deer hunt, but as long as I'm hunting or trapping or doing something, I'm happy, and I've really got enough trapping lined up to keep me busy to Christmas. So, which is good for me. I love to trap. But I've got my coyote traps geared up and ready. I'm fixing to start setting them. Somebody said, "What is a cat after?" I don't have any idea.
He keep running back
But
and
he's
forth.
jumping around out there. He's after something.
There
I
he is.
don't know.
He don't ever come up this way.
Me and Brody had a rat killing the other night, legitimately. Not the one I did the video on. That was a muskrat or neutral or whatever. But me and Brody has killed about 5 or 6. I'm talking about big rats. Well, cat got one, brought it up there and left it on the front porch the other night for Michelle to find.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I was in Jackson. There's Joey from M4 Laser Works. Lindsay B said, I'm up here at 10,000 feet elk hunting. Tomorrow's my last day. Praying I get a bull before I leave tomorrow after. Lindsay, I pray you get one too. I would love to go on an elk hunt. And I'm hoping in the near future, in the next several years, I can get hooked up with some people where I could go do something like that. I could probably pull it off now. I could probably make some phone calls and go now. But resources and time and all that is my biggest battle at the moment. I really want to go on a bear hunt. I don't know why I want to go on a black bear hunt. I've never, because that's something that we can sort of do. Tennessee, Georgia, they have seasons. We don't have a season here in Mississippi. We have a few black bears, but not very many. But I want to try the meat. I've heard elk meat is wonderful. I've never tried elk. I would love to. I think it's from what I hear, really good meat. John Thomas, I know another fellow that he caught fish and shot squirrels, but he ain't seen no hog. That was me. Usually we've got some hogs up in here. I have not seen a lot of them though. Alicia, I want to try elk meat. I think a big old elk steak about yay thick, grilled to perfection, would just be delicious. I know what I didn't do. That wind blowed that cooker out and I didn't cut the gas off. Now it's off. We're gonna carry that pot of stuff in the house. That's what I'm eating for dinner tomorrow. No doubt, no doubt.
Well, my mama's cooking fried chicken tomorrow.
It'll be hard to beat that.
Hard to beat fried chicken.
Let's carry that over there and tell them it's deer, and let them eat it and see what they think about it. Tell them it's venison. Would that be considered venison?
No.
Oh, well, I tried. Yeah, Uncle Sasquatch, I'd love to try some buffalo hump too. I think buffalo hump would be delicious. Larry said they have an overabundance of black bears along South Carolina, North Carolina line area. Ed Smith said, I ain't interested in eating a bear. It reminds me of a big furry dog. They say when you skin a bear out, it looks more like a human than it does, an animal.
Yeah.
That would kind of be creepy, hung up it. So I don't know, but there you go. Larry and M4 said just tell them it's wild game. So we got a wild game. What do you call that I made? Is that a sauce piquant? Or somebody give me a Cajun name for what I made.
I don't know.
The sauce piquant's got tomato in it, don't it?
I don't know.
I ain't an expert at that kind of stuff.
You didn't put tomatoes in that?
I didn't put tomatoes in that. We cooked the meat in the oil, got the meat out, put the Trinity in there, cooked it down, and then we added chicken broth to it, and then hot sauce and seasoned it good. And then we put the roux in it and thickened it up, and we let that cook. And then we put the meat back in there, and that was it. So, somebody tell me what would you call that? Samuel said they have a bunch of bears in Florida. They issued 167 tags. Lindsay said her son was asking about fat bottom mugs. Any chance you have any for sale? Have you got another crop of them made?
I do have some plain ones, but I gotta glaze them.
You need to be making a few every day. How many cups have you got left with the logo on them?
I sold the last 2 today.
So you don't have any?
Mm-mm.
Brian said, sorry, it's just stew. It ain't stew. Stew ain't thick like that. When we make stew is more like a soup here. So it's got to be called something else. If they ain't got a name for it, I'm fixing to come up with one. Because it ain't stew. And it ain't sauce piquant. And it ain't gumbo, I don't reckon. Gumbo's thinner, ain't it? Or is gumbo thick?
Well, here in Mississippi, most of the gumbo we have is going to be like
soup.
It's more
But
like
down
here.
there in South Louisiana, it's thick, ain't it?
I don't know.
It may be more like a gumbo, but now we didn't put the okra in it. They'll jump on you about not putting that okra in there. I mean...
My brother-in-law is Cajun. I could ask
Somebody
him.
said it's a fricassee. Brian said gumbo is thin. My experience with gumbo is thin. My mama makes, but Michelle made a good one the other day. What you put shrimp in it, didn't you? Shrimp and
chicken.
Shrimp and chicken.
I did shrimp and chicken, but the chicken I just kind of throwed it together at last minute, and I had a one of those Walmart rotisserie chickens that I had thrown in the freezer. And I just pulled it out and I put that rotisserie chicken in there and some shrimp.
It was as good a gumbo as I've eat. And she did put the okra in it. It was good, but ours is thin. I mean, that's the way we've always eat it. But when we're here in Mississippi and you're eating Cajun dishes, ours usually tends to be a little different than what's originally made because of a lack of the further you get away from somewhere, things just get made different in different areas. So. Charlie Pickerel, good night. Thank y'all for joining.
Folks, throwing a fit again. Bobby
Smith said, would you ever hunt moose? If I could get somewhere that they was moose and had a moose tag, absolutely. There's nothing that I wouldn't hunt and nothing that I wouldn't try to eat. Now, saying that, I ain't gonna never say that I ain't gonna eat possum, but possum's gonna be one of the last things I eat. Why is there somebody else? There's a light shining on that front of that tank, but I don't know if it's a reflection into the shed or if somebody's pulled up in the driveway. I hadn't heard no dogs going crazy. You see that white tank down there? My gas tank?
It ain't nothing. Ain't nobody out there. If it is, they can come on around.
If I got bad hungry and we was in a survival situation, as all I had, I'd eat possum. But it's not one of them things that I'm going and just cause I caught one, I'm going to eat it. That's like the muskrat. I'm not against trying the muskrat, but now the deal with that one, I throwed that one away because it was dead when I got to the trap, and I ain't sure how long it's been dead. Now, when I cleaned it, the meat didn't smell bad and all that, but I didn't eat it, and so. Now, Brian Pearson, I'm with you on that. Don't matter what it is, just say it's good. It was delicious. Now, I knew I didn't know what it was. I mean, I wasn't going to attempt to call it something, but and I'm bad to not really ever look at a recipe. I think I made a etouffee. I went by Emerald Lagasse's recipe. Yeah. The first one of them I made was really good, but I don't think it was as good as that. As far as the flavor of the gravy and the roux and that part of it. So it could have been similar to an etouffee, I reckon. What is that I get at Harbor View down there? That is a crawfish
A2 face.
chef-a-la. It's a crawfish chef-a-la. It's spelled atchafala.
We probably say it wrong, I'm sure.
No, the chef-a-la is the way that's pronounced. The chef-a-la basin down there. Because you'll watch swamp people and they'll call it the Atchafalaya Basin, but my daddy worked offshore down there in Houma, Louisiana, or catching out at Houma. He learned all that stuff, and he's told me straight that's the Chapelai Basin. So I knew from that, or at least that's what I was told. If I'm wrong, I learned wrong. And I could be. Bobby Diamond said I'm late. Have you mentioned the new TP? Briefly. I did tell that I reached out to Secret Creek. Plane mode. There we are back. We're gonna have to start putting this on airplane mode when we doing our live, ain't we? So what was that? Oh, we was talking about the the TP. So I emailed Secret Creek, which is I think Colorado Yurt Company, because when I searched it, I searched Colorado Yurt Company, and that's who I sent the mail. But at the top of their thing up there, it says Secret Creek. And when I talked to the lady, she called me back the next day and seemed promising. Now that don't mean I'm getting a TP. She is going to take it before the owner of the company, show him my social media, and talk about. I told her, I said, all I need is a skin. I've got the poles. She's seen the picture of the one I built, all this stuff. So she said she would get up with me around Wednesday. So hopefully sometime this coming week we find out something. I would love to get a real TP from somebody like that and put it up. And I think they're about probably $700 or $800, $900, maybe even $1,200 for just a skin that big. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping we can get one, but I don't know. Randall Hayes said he'd stick to acorns. Nancy, I ain't gonna eat. Well, I don't want to eat the possum, but now I like a mess of chitlins. Now I have them creek slung
they had
or
them marked
stump
down
whoop.
at Walmart.
The chitlins.
They was $18 the other day. Now they're $16.
Well, they was about $8. I saw somewhere in one of the grocery stores for a bucket. I've got a bucket down there in the freezer.
These are the washed ones.
I'm probably gonna get them out here for long and cook them.
I don't eat chitlins either.
Yeah, now John, I ain't no fan of rutabagas. Just ain't. My mama cooked rutabagas when I was a kid, and I'd smell them things, and it smelled so much like a paper mill. I was like, I can't, I can't handle it. And you know, the smell of chitlins don't bother me. It's two totally different smells. But now chitlins is one of them things, we was talking about this earlier. Well, you need to just have it the way I cook it. Them other folks don't know what to do. You need to try the way I cook it. Well, I'm going to just tell you, chitlins is one of them things, either you like them or you don't. It don't matter who cooks them and how they cook them. If you got in your mind you ain't eating chitlins, you ain't going to like them. It don't matter. So, there's that.
I don't like them.
I like them boiled. I ain't crazy about them fried. I can eat them fried, but I'd rather have them just straight boiled. And I like to put crab boil in mine, and then I like to dip them in ketchup and eat them. I don't know that I've ever tried sauerkraut. Have you? Do you like sauerkraut?
We bought it one time, but we didn't ever eat it.
Where's it at?
We throwed it away.
Well, I reckon we don't like it either then. I don't remember.
I bought it at when I was in Missouri at the little Amish store up there.
I like Brussels sprouts. We put Brussels sprouts in when we boil crawfish. Man, they good when they come out of that crab boil. No hominy, Larry said. I'll eat hominy. Tripe, now that is the stomach lining, is it not? I'm not sure on. I've never had tripe. I can't say I would or wouldn't eat it. I reckon.
Look, he's watching.
There comes old El
Now, come out here
Brodea.
without your shoes on.
Where's your shoes, boy?
Mom, can you make some ice cream?
Make him some ice cream.
Mom, can you go get me some ice cream?
This will be his second bowl today.
So we got several that like tripe. Something like that, I would say the first time I eat it, I wouldn't want to eat my own, because you don't know how to cook it if it's something unique like that. Now, obviously, a lot of this stuff that I have eat, like raccoon, beaver, different things, I've never been around nobody else that cooked it and eat it. I'm not saying they don't. I mean, everybody eats it everywhere, but I haven't been around other people that cooked it, so obviously I had to try my own. But something like that's people cook a lot, you would want somebody that was experienced cooking it and kind of knew what they were doing to cook it so you would get an idea. But put it like this. Take meatloaf, for example. I did a video. Video has gotten hundreds of thousands of views on Facebook. And on TikTok, it's got 100,000 views. Where I talked about, asked, do y'all eat meatloaf? And the biggest thing, everybody loves meatloaf, save, 20,000 people out of 100,000 that, no, I don't like meatloaf. But most of them say the same thing. Yes, I love meatloaf, but only my own. I don't like other people's meatloaf. What's up with that, Because I've been to Cracker Barrel and eat meatloaf. I've eaten my mama's meatloaf. I've eaten Michelle's mama's meatloaf. I've eaten Michelle's meatloaf. And every one of them is slightly different. I agree, everybody cooks stuff just slightly different, but I like it well enough that I can eat all of it. So it was kind of odd to me. There was so many people that left the same type of comment like, yes, I love it, but I only eat my own. I don't like the other people. I don't like this on there. I don't like that. So, when you got these dishes, you got to realize that everybody can cook the same recipe and it's always a little different. Like, it'll taste different when this person cooks it. So tripe or something like that, I'm sure is that way. So if you eat this person's and they love it, and then you go over here to this other house and eat this person's, you're eating two totally different dishes, and it may be the same recipe. Ed Smith said his wife just told him what tripe was. That's a big note. So somebody's going to have to tell me what tripe is. Not potted meat, spam, or Vienna sausage. And I like all three of them. And hog head cheese. I like souse meat. Rant said hunger is the best seasoning. You got that right now. Uncle Sasquatch, I could imagine my mama trying to explain to me what mountain oysters was. Oh, Lord. Buffalo burgers are the best burgers I've ever made. If you have a chance, try it. You won't regret it. I'd love to try buffalo. I'm going to have to get out of Mississippi if I get to try some of these other big game animals because we just don't have them here. And the ones we do, we ain't got no season on. So, I'm going to have to Google stomach lining. That's what I thought it was. I wasn't sure. I eat chitlins, so I ain't going to frown on try. I've just never had it. I don't know how you cook it. Do you boil it or do you fry it or? Caribou burger. They tell me to make burgers out of this beaver. They say this beaver makes a fine burger. So, because the beaver is not like deer. Beaver has a little fat that you can use in beaver. You know, a deer, the fat in deer, you can't use it. It ain't fit to eat. John said he boils tripe. What? Robbie Payne says you can buy buffalo meat here at the Buffalo Park in Tupelo. I'm going to have to make a note of that. We go through Tupelo occasionally delivering pottery. I'll have to find out about that. I'd love to do that. Is it expensive? Like way more than beef? I think probably for the experience, it would be worth whatever the price is to have just been able to say I have eaten it one time. Raymond Rogers, you get us an elk trip lined up and I'm game. We're going to have to start training. Reckon they'll let us take a four-wheeler out there to go up and down them mountains and keep them having to do all that climbing. Because, I'll take a four-wheeler. And, hey, my four-wheeler, y'all, my buddy has got it fixed. I just, with everything going on, hadn't been down there to get my four-wheeler. He did tell me, though, that the seal wouldn't stay in there. He said, I don't think you're going to get a seal to stay in the end of that axle. So we discussed drilling and tapping it and pumping it full of marine grease. I said, go for it. But he does have it running and has been riding it. So my buddy down here, he's got my four-wheeler fixed. We are fixing to have it back using it. Boil it, then fry it, Stuart Monroe said. No pigtail ears or feet for me. I seen no y'all eating a pig ear sandwich. I figured that'd be good. I'm going to have to get up with him and go get me a pig ear sandwich. You probably right, Dave. If we had caribou down here, we'd probably quit hunting deer. I would. The only problem with it is I don't know if I could drag a caribou up in the back of my truck or not. Ain't them some pretty big suckers, ain't they? I mean, it's all I can do to get 180-pound deer up in the back of the truck. That one I killed last year was probably pushing 200, and it was all I could do to get him in the back of the truck. Nancy, I have not ate nutria. If I catch one here, and where I'm trapping right now, I've got a good chance of catching some more. If I catch one alive or one that I've caught recent enough that I think is all right, I don't have a problem trying it. So we may skin one out and do it. I had a bunch of people telling me to fry it. So I guess you would skin it out. They say like you would fry a rabbit. So I don't know. I don't have any problem trying one. It's like anything else. My deal with possums is I've watched what possums eat. A possum's like a four-legged buzzard, so that's my deterrent on wanting to try possum. But nutria is a plant-eating animal, about like a beaver, so I really don't have any issues trying something like that I know it's just a vegetarian. Field dress in place, piece it out. That makes sense to me, Lindsay. And I probably should have known that because I've watched enough mountain men shows and all that and seen them do that. But you know how we are in the South, when you're driving down the road and you shoot one there off the side of the road, you got to get him loaded up and get going for the game warden gets there. If you got to stop on the side of the road, quarter it up, I mean, that's going to put a lot of these southern hunting boys out of business right there. Oh, did I say it out loud? I think I did. Can you hunt them with a light? Because that's the next question. Can you shine caribou at night and shoot them with a light? Dave said there's a place in Jackson that serves pig ear sandwiches. They cook them in a pressure cooker and sell a lot of them. Bobby Smith has mentioned antelope. I would bet antelope is good. I imagine it's really lean like deer. Full moon. We done passed it here, ain't we? Oh, he's saying hunt full moon. I got you. I'm with you now. I'm slow. You got to forget. Had a blonde moment. Wait, I wasn't supposed to say that either, was I? Oh, Lord. Y'all going to have to muzzle me. Yeah, I've watched them. I watch Mountain Men reruns down there while I'm working in the shop a good bit. Cause there ain't much else fit to watch, you know. And I've seen them eat like Marty up there, up north, and different ones. They've eat caribou and moose and some of them. And I watched a lot of the Alaska shows. I'd give my eye tooth to have a pilot's license and a bush plane and live in Alaska and just fly out there and hunt, trap, fly. I mean, that would be. The problem is I don't know how I would afford all that fuel to do all that flying around. Because, I mean, you got to figure out some kind of a way to make a living, or either you got to get filthy rich before you go. And I don't see that happening for me. What do you want, son? What you need? This dog, y'all, has not let me out of his sight. He's made every. Get up here and sit down in that chair. Get up here and sit in the chair. Whoa, my Lord. What in the world? See it? See it? He decided that stump was a place to be. You a little needy? Tribalism, how are you, my friend? Hadn't seen you in a while. Frank Moore said antelope is like eating goat. Now, I have not tried goat either. Now, the Mexican guy I worked with for a long time, they liked goat. And they would go buy one or two every year, and they would take them home and kill them and clean them, process them, and carnitas, and I don't know what all else they would make out of it. So they like it, and I would try goat. I would definitely try goat. Now when I say I would try it, that don't mean that I'm gonna like it and continue to eat it. But if it's good, I will. So what in the world? What? This little chair ain't really got enough room for me and you both. He's letting y'all know that he is a lap dog more than a hunting dog. But I've been gone all last week, pretty much all last week. And when I got to the house the very next day, I left in the truck and went and run all my traps. And it was 3 o'clock when I got back home, 3 or 3:30, something like that. Today, he has not let me out of his sight, son. I mean, every step I've made out there, he's been on my heels. I tripped over him a time or two. Nancy, this dog, I don't know how me and him, either one, ever get along without the other. They may have to put us both in a box together one of these days. Ed said his wife says goat is better than beef. I've heard a lot of people say, I ain't trying no goat. I would try goat. I hadn't tried lamb. They say lamb's good. I've never tried it. Larry, good night. I hope you get one here before long. I hadn't really dove off into hunting hard yet. I've been on a few bow hunts. Just trying to work too much, trying to keep up with my bills, I reckon. I may need Uncle Sasquatch down here to help me hold this dog. Uncle Sasquatch, we may have to take turns with him. He's getting a mite needy. He's a little more than a lap full is the only problem with this. And look at this belly, y'all. That's them beef sticks Uncle Sasquatch is sending. You see that? What? Where are you going? Son, they really ain't room for all this. Do you know them people is looking at us? They seeing you be all this needy. I know. No. Quit. I don't like dog lick. I mean, look how pitiful acting he is. Look, go get in that chair over yonder. Go over and get in that chair. Look, get over yonder in that chair. Roscoe. Where's he at? What'd you hear? He hadn't had no treats much this week because I ain't been here to give him none. Bill Valentine, what is going on over in Alabama? Oh, you talking about the ball game? Roscoe, you got to get down. You got to get over yonder. Get over in this chair. Here, look. Get up there. Look. There. Get up there. There you go. Look. There you go. Yeah. The cushion about slid out the back on him. You all right there? Oh, Lord. Yeah, somebody informed me, Bill, that the Tide lost today. It used to really upset me, but I had to put that out of the back of my mind. I had to not let football on in. I get too much going on I got to do to get my Saturdays tied up in ball games. I did turn it on. I watched part of that LSU game. Nancy, sorry about you losing your dog. It's tough losing a pet. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all, which we all know Uncle Sasquatch has lost Jake and Nancy's lost her dog. I have lost a couple over the years that I was really attached to. And I've lost some that I really wasn't that attached to. Like when we lost Roxanne, I didn't think I was that attached to her. But, for weeks after that, you just you get to catch yourself looking for them and stuff. So they wee you all the time, and you get used to them being there, and then all of a sudden they're gone. It's, I don't want to compare it to somebody losing a young'un because I know some people that have lost a kid, and it's not the same, obviously. But doggone, it hurts, So I get it. Rick Martin, thank you. Thank you. Lindsay B, you have lost a pup too. It's tough. It is. I lost a pit bull that I had raised in the house, and he died of basically heartworms. He was about 8 years old, and so he somewhat died of natural causes. But you just, the world's like it's a little piece of you gone when you lose one. And I don't know how to express what I'm gonna be like when I lose Roscoe, we're probably gonna have to shut the channel down for about a week. Because I mean, that's all you can think about. It ain't gonna be like you can make a video without thinking about it. So I don't know. It's you don't want to say, well, that an animal's gonna change your life, but you know, if they can. Magnolia Mama, sorry to hear that. Lost her last weekend. Lord, it seems like when you start talking about it, everybody's lost one recently. It's tough. It is. So my thing, when I lost my pit bull that I had, when we found him, I went within about 2 or 3 weeks and got Roscoe. When we was looking, the pit bull just disappeared. I was working on this house, and we looked for him for 3 days before we found him. At least 2 days. I think it was 3 days. And Lissy found him down here in the old teepee that I had made out of the tarp. He had got up in it and passed away, and he just got in there and laid down. And I had walked right up to the edge of that thing calling for him. So that first night, so I know he must have passed away the first night went down there, because so when we was looking for him those couple of days, I asked my neighbor that lives right here, I said, have you seen my dog? You know, no. He said, but if you need one, I got a litter of puppies. They'd just been born yesterday. I said, well, if I don't find him, I may be wanting one. Well, sure enough, we found him dead. And we went up there about 6 weeks later and got Roscoe. They was 3 of them puppies, and they was under a gazebo out back, so we pretty well rescued them. And he screamed and screamed like you'd have thought we was killing him. You know, we brought him home. Now I couldn't run him off with a stick. But my whole reason for saying all that was the only way I could deal with the loss was to replace him with another dog. I mean, that dog's gone. Roscoe won't never be the dog that I had. But now he's his own dog, and I love him as much or more than I did the other one. You can't replace one that's gone. Their personalities are different. They're a different animal. They're different, you know. But I'm not going to go the rest of my life missing out on getting to love another one. So it helps. For me, at least, it helped get over the other one. So, it don't mean that everybody needs to deal with it that way. Everybody has to handle things in their own way. But for me, I just wanted to love another dog. I wanted... We had named our pit Junior because I had one named Rambo. I had named the first pit Rambo, and then this was a son off of him. And actually, it may have been like a grandson. I think I had a puppy off of him that I bred. I gave the puppy to my brother-in-law, and then I bred the female I had to that puppy. And we got Junior, and he was a good dog. He would treat raccoons, all kind of stuff, but he was a good dog. Ken Burns is going to have a documentary on the American Revolution. Lindsay, it takes time. I was ready right off the bat, but like I said, everybody's got to deal with that their own way. And they can't nobody tell you how to deal with it. They can't nobody tell you how to react. You just got to figure it out, you know, what works for you. It's still tough, either way you handle it. Yeah, don't quit on us. I know that you miss Jake a lot, but If you quit YouTube, we would all miss you. Saturday Night Live wouldn't be the same without Uncle Sasquatch in here. I had never got to meet you and shake your hand, but I really think a lot of you. Mr. Lucas DM09. Hi, is just this old girl here. So is it Mears Lucas? I'm just slightly confused is all. I stay that way though pretty regular. Tribalism, I'll tell you my experience with pit bulls, and I raised them for a long time. I raised them primarily to hog hunt with, was why I had them. But they're a lot like these chickens. When I got to fooling with roosters, I just was drawn to the fighting roosters, not because I fight them. I have never fought roosters. A lot of people think I did just because I had them, but I just liked them. They were big, pretty roosters. They was, they were fighting roosters, and they was mean. And the ones I got, I rescued, which was what they call man fighters. In other words, if they went in a pen and that chicken wanted to come at them, they wanted to get rid of him, because if you ever tie a knife to a bird and he wants to come at you, he's liable to cut you all up. So they would cull them. Well, I'd be like, no, don't kill it. Give it to me. I'll take it, right? Because, I ain't going to put no knife on it. It don't matter to me. And I would fool with them. And that's how I kind of got some of the ones that I got. And then I bought some, and I just liked them. So you find out fooling with these birds that they have bloodlines. Okay, well, what they doing is they taking a rooster and breeding it to its mate, and then they'll breed that rooster back to one of the pullets out of that litter. And they'll keep doing that down the line, and what they call is keeping that blood pure. Well, it's inbreeding is all it is. And you know what happens to people when you inbreed people? They not really quite right in the head most of the times, especially if it's happened, a time or two in a family. And back in the old days, it was a lot more common than it is now. So the pit bulls is the same way, because they have bloodlines of those pit bulls. You don't just have, well, this is a pit bull. Well, you got red nose and Boudreaux and, all these bloodlines. Well, they're inbreeding them. A lot of them is for fighting, but the hog hunting, whatever world. They got, and no other dogs that I know of have bloodlines like that. And I do find a little of that in mountain feist when they're training them for working dogs, like squirrel hunting dogs. I'm not familiar with the coon dogs. They may be in that, but that inbreeding is what makes some of them pit bulls just a little bit off. Well, if you got one that he's been a pure bloodline, so to speak, well, that's why one day he's liable to just be like, and all of a sudden he's went crazy. And I've heard of this happening, and sometimes you notice traits in them that sometimes it may be, further on down the line before it happens. So that is the danger with the pit bulls, I think. I don't think it's just because it's a pit bull. I think it is because of the way they are bred. So it's been unfortunate. They've been responsible for a lot of the accidents or attacks or however you call it. So with that all being happened is one of the reasons I don't have any more. When the last one I had passed away, my daughter was about 12 or 13, and we were building this house, and I knew she was going to be having company come over and spend a night and different things. And I was like, you know what? I trust them, but what if they bit somebody else? If they do bite somebody, they're going to do some damage. So that was one of the reasons that I just chose. I wanted a smaller dog. I wanted a squirrel hunting dog. I wanted something I could ride in a truck with, ride the buggy in. So that was why I got Roscoe. Yeah, he's out. I'm reading y'all's comments, Uncle Sasquatch, about this guy. Y'all talking about the guy that is making the Ken Burns? I'll have to check this out. He's got a website recreating history. He built the gun for the movie The Revenant. That's interesting. Lindsay B, the one I had was about that way. Now, he'd make short work out of a raccoon or armadillo or a possum. He didn't like none of them. They didn't stay around here, but now he ain't never bothered a soul. In fact, he wouldn't really fight another dog unless it jumped on him. Now, he whooped 3 of the neighbor's dogs right here in the yard one day. And it was because they was up here in our yard and jumped on him. And usually if he was fixing to try to fight, I could holler at him enough that he would leave and come to me. And very few pits are that way. I had several that when we were hog hunting, if they ever got after a pig, they wouldn't know. You couldn't tell them nothing. And mine, this one that I raised in the house, I could about holler at him and get him to break loose off of a pig, which really is not ideal when you're hog hunting. Well, y'all. It is just about 9 o'clock, or it's after 9 o'clock. Such good company, but a lot of folks is needing to go to bed, needing to go do stuff. I am about ready to go. I've got to go edit my just-in-time video. I've got some stuff I need to go square away before bedtime. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Since this time changed, about 9, 10 o'clock, yours truly is about ready to go to bed. I mean, it done been dark for a while. There ain't no need sitting up all night. Oh, Lord. I know it's done 10 over there on the East Coast for y'all. So, yeah, hey, honestly, y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with us out here on this live, watching us cook and just talk and have a good time. Y'all, I missed last week getting to do it, which everybody totally understood. But still, I miss doing it. You know, I enjoy filming these and sitting out here and talking to y'all because we have such a wonderful group of people here. Thank y'all for hanging out with me, watching my videos, liking and sharing and subscribing and all the wonderful stuff y'all do. All the gifts that you guys send us. Y'all show me a lot of love, but most of all, the prayers you prayed this week, y'all, I really appreciate that. They made all the difference. I promise you they did. So thank y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Just in Time will be out in the morning. Like I said, I got to go edit that. I know all of you don't watch that, but for those of you who do, I appreciate it. It'll be out in the morning. I filmed working on some traps, dying traps, and all such as that today. I'll get that edited. It'll be out probably tomorrow. Monday, I'll be going back to trap beavers, run my beaver traps again. And possibly tomorrow, I'm going to try to shoot the muzzleloader tomorrow afternoon. I need to get that ready for the hunting season coming up, the primitive weapons season. So we'll see which one I get edited now. Thank y'all for watching. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.